Hi everyone, welcome back to my Introduction to Python course. Today we're going to go over a very fun but easy lesson. We're going to talk about arithmetic as well as assignment operators. And as you might be able to see from my comments that I've written right here, it's pretty self-explanatory for the arithmetic part. So let's go ahead and get started. So I took the liberty of creating some variables for us to use for these different operations. I set A is equal to 20. And I also said B is equal to 3. If we want to do our first operation of addition, we can simply say print is equal to A, or print A plus B. And if we run this, we're going to get 23. There's another way that you can do this as well. You can actually set a variable. So you can say add is equal to A plus B, and then you could print add. And if we run this again, we'll get the exact same thing. The same thing we can do for subtraction as well. So we could say sub is equal to A minus B, and we can do print sub. And now you can see that we have 17. Let's go ahead and continue on with the process. So we can actually multiply these together. We could say, just keeping the same process that we've been doing, I'll go ahead and say multi is equal to A times B and print multi. And so you see we have 60. All right, let's go ahead and do division as well. We can say div is equal to A divided by B, and we can print div. All right, and you see that Python is really good about giving us our significant figures at the end. We can also do a exponential. So with our exponent, we could say exp is our variable name, and then we could do that's these two star symbols or two multiplication symbols basically mean our exponent. And then we could say to the power of B. And let's go ahead and print our variable exp. All right, and there you go. Answer is 8,000. And let's go over our last one here, which is the remainder. This one can be a little bit tricky, so I'll take my time in explaining this one. So if we say rem, which stands for remainder, A, and then the percent sign, which is actually called the modulus, and then B. Remember, A stands for 20 and B is 3. And we print our variable rem, we'll get 2. But where did the 2 come from? Remember, it's a remainder, right? So 20 divided by, let's say that we say 20 divided by 4 is, of course, we know that the answer to that is 5, but there's no remainder. If we say 20 divided by 5, that's equal to 4. There's still no remainder. But if we say 20 divided by 3, there's going to be a remainder. Why is that? Because 3 goes into, or 3, let's say like this, 3 times 6 is equal to 18. And of course, it's not equal to 20. It takes 2 more numbers to get to 20. So if you do the reverse of that, 20 divided by 3, that's going to give you a remainder of 2. So hopefully explain that well enough. Let's go ahead and let's experiment a little bit just to kind of give you an idea. If I say 4, if I change B to 4, remember what I said, 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. So what do you think the remainder is going to be? The remainder is going to be 0. So that's a little bit of some of the operations that you can do. Let's go ahead and go with our assignment operators. All right, so if you've been following along this far, you have pretty much already been using the very first assignment operator, which is the equal sign. And so, we can say right here, we're assigning a number to this variable, A. So we're assigning 20 to A, and we're assigning 6 to B using the equal sign. But there are a number of other operators, assignment operators that we're going to, as a Python developer, you're going to be using quite often, especially once we talk about loops in future videos. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple. So let's go ahead. We've already used this one, but let's go ahead and do the plus equal sign. So I went ahead and got rid of our other variable B, and we're just going to be using the variable A is equal to 20. And in order to do our addition equal sign operator, what we can say is we can say A is equal to A plus 1, and then we're going to print A. So what do you think that actually is going to output? Whenever we run this, it's going to equal to something that is going to be interesting. It's going to be equal to 21. So in order to explain that, it's basically performing an addition, and then it's assigning that output of the addition right back into the variable. So we have 20 plus 1, which is 21, and then we're assigning it right back into our variable A, which basically what this is. There's another way, easier way to write this, and the objective of writing clean code is to try to be as concise as possible. So that's the purpose of this operator. Whenever we use the operator, we basically are doing the exact same thing for this. So we can say A plus equal 1, and then whenever we print A, and I'll go ahead and clear this, we're going to equal the same thing, 21. So that's basically just another way of writing this. You can actually use this as, you can also think about this as maybe short code, right? It's not the exact same terminology that as short code, but you can actually think about it in that sense whenever you're writing your operator. Let's go ahead and do our minus equals. So if we do A is equal to A minus 1 and print A, I'll go ahead and delete this real quick. And we run our code, going to equal 19. So it's basically the exact opposite of what we just did with the addition. And as you might be able to guess, you can do the exact same thing for these, and I will do that. But let's go ahead and show you. We have A minus is equal to 1, and we can go ahead and print that. And like just before, we have 19. I'll go ahead and delete this as well, just so that we can go ahead and do our multiplication equal sign. So let's go ahead and just continue the pattern. We have A is equal to A times 1. We can print that, print A, and it should be equal to 20. All right, now let's go ahead and do our operator. Same thing, right? Let's go ahead and do the division. So A is equal to A divided by 1. And if we print A, answer is going to be 20. And interesting enough, it adds a decimal to it. But we can also do our operator in short code or shorthand, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to equal to 20 again. All right, continuing the pattern. All right, let's go ahead and do our exponent equal. So if we do a is equal to a double multiplication, or basically the exponent symbol times 1, and we print a is equal to 20. Now we can also do the same thing like we've been doing. Set that equal to 1, print a again, and it's going to equal to 20 again. And last but not least, let's go ahead and do our modulus equal, and we can say a is equal to, and print a, and we have a remainder of 0, because we're basically dividing 20 by, you have 20 divided by 1 is equal to 20, and you just put that right back into a, which is, you have your remainder of 0. So that is equal to a. And why is that? Why do we have a remainder of 0? So remember, a is equal to 20. And whenever we divide by 1, we get 20. So that just basically means there's no remainder. And then we put that right back into the variable that we started with, which is a, of course. So you're going to have 20. And so if we do our modulus symbol again, if we do our modulus symbol again, is equal to 1, and print it, you're going to equal 0 again. All right, everyone. Hopefully you all were able to follow along. I think the hardest one for beginners to learn is the remainder operator, or the modulus symbol. And it takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. But, of course, with the tools that I've showed you in this video and all the other videos, just make sure you practice. It takes practice, so that you can get used to the different tools in Python. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit the comment section below. Ask me whatever question you have. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified for my next up and coming videos. We have a lot more to talk about and to cover in our Introduction to Python course. So stay tuned. All right. Have a good one, everyone.